Hey, graphic design. So for this video, we are going to be looking at portrait painting, which is your next big project. And that project's going to take us 2 weeks. So we are going to start it this week and then work through the first few steps. And then next week, you'll really dive into it, spend the whole week finishing it up. But first, let's just see, what is this project all about? So first thing I want to show you is just a bunch of different portrait examples. These are ones I found from various illustrators online because we're really focusing more on like an illustration, okay? So previously with Photoshop, you have learned how to photo edit and work and manipulate real images and photography. Now, you're going to be taking that photography and you're going to be painting essentially on top of it to create your own illustration based on that photography. So here are some different illustrations that were done digitally. You might recognize some of these people, that little guy. But I want you to pay attention to the brush strokes. You've now practiced using a variety of different brush strokes, and so you can see how some of those have been manipulated specifically in the right-hand side. There's some obvious style, whereas on the left-hand side, it's more like clean edges between different colors. And that's totally up to you how you want to approach that. You can have fun with it, like you see here with the brush strokes, where it's mainly just like contours and things with just some shading and very purposeful brushes to make it more of this like abstracted fun element. Here's some more where you're manipulating the colors that you're using. You have to really think through how you want to manipulate those colors. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the photo that I was planning on using and I'll go up and I will edit the photo to saturate it and change the colors there quite a bit until I have it where I like it. And then maybe when I paint on top of it, exaggerate that even more. And so I'm really manipulating those colors like you see here. Here's another one where it's like clean lines, even a clean outline around the back. Here's some more. You can see some interesting shapes and things on the background. And there's that one. Love that one. Desaturated on the actual image, but then color pop in the back. Here's some more examples. You can see different approaches to doing hair. So where it's more of like the brush strokes are doing the work for you on this first one. And then here is more of just like outlines and more approaching it as like different strands, like piecing the hair together, all the way through to this one where it's like just two colors. Essentially, you've got like your darker brown and then your more like warmer brown that's just put in there to highlight. So lots of different ways to approach it. All right, let's look at some student examples. Pretty awesome. So she chose to do herself and her friend. She found like a funny photo and she even manipulated the background, added all these different colors and things. But her actual image itself is, there's a lot to it, but there's not a ton of blending. She purposely chose to do like just softer highlights and shadows and work with just the main color, which is totally okay. Looks great. Here's another self-portrait. So we have a fun background once again, so feel free to play with that when you get to that point. And then like a simpler image, a little bit of like rosy tone on the cheeks, but otherwise the contours are really doing a lot of the work, as you can see here. Here's another one, striped background. She even manipulated her hair and had a little bit of fun with it because she's always wanted to make her hair pink. And so when you do this, and you'll see this soon, but you're going to be taking an image that you have and putting it into Photoshop and then drawing on top of it to get those outlines. So you're not worried as much about your actual drawing skills as you are worried about, okay, like figuring out what you want to trace and then how you want to fill that in. So now that brings us to you trying to decide what portrait you're going to use. So you need to choose a self-portrait, and here are those main requirements that we are looking for. So it needs to be a photo of you. Okay, I do want this to be a self-portrait, which is why at the beginning of the class, I asked you to make sure you included some self-portraits in your digital photography. Now, it doesn't have to be that one. Maybe you're looking at that one, you're thinking, I don't know that I actually want to use that one. So it can be something different, but it does need to be a photo of you. But if you want to like push yourself, you can add others or another person in it. So it's not just a selfie, but if you're nervous about it, then I would probably just stick just with you. So it's up to you. Focus on face and shoulders. So it's a portrait, not a full body. So that means it needs to be, the face is the main focus, and that's what I'm going to help walk you through how to create. Make sure it's a clear photo. It's not fuzzy. There's not too many shadows or highlights. And so it's not really dark. We're going to actually be using the eyedropper tool to find colors. And so if you have a really dark photo, then it's going to be really hard to find like accurate colors from your face. And make sure it's interesting with accessories. Don't just take a photo of yourself staring at the screen and like half smiling, okay? Make it fun, add accessories. I've had people do like Snapchat filters and then recreate that and had fun with that. I've had people wearing things. I've had people laughing or serious or everything you can imagine. So have fun with it and make yours unique and try and make yours work with your personality, okay? So here's some examples of ones that do or do not work. So I knew I wanted to do one for this example of me and my daughter. There's Emmy. And this one does not work. It is me, and it is focused mainly on like my face, although I'm kind of off to the side. However, it is fuzzy. There's too much light. You can see that there's a big part of like a big burst of light coming behind us. And so that doesn't work, and the coloring is all off. This one, although it's me and Emmy, and she's eating a candy cane, so she's super excited about it. But it doesn't work because it's not focused in enough, okay? This is our whole body. There's too much going on. I wouldn't have time to get all of this within the 2 weeks. So focus in more. This one is me and her. However, it's not mainly me, it's mainly her. She's making a goofy face. And so doesn't work. Here's another fuzzy one. Too many shadows, too many highlights, and she's super fuzzy. So if I wanted to include her, it'd be really challenging. Here's one, just not super interesting. We're just staring and smiling. So try and do something a little more fun. Once again, not focused enough, and there's some crazy perspective happening with our arms. So, and finally, this one meets all the things. So we're having fun. We've got our Snapchat filter glasses on. We're both included. You've got most of me and you've got her. It's clear, it's interesting, focus on the face. This works. So this is the one that I would use. And this is the one that you'll see in a lot of different examples to come. So now your job is to decide what photo you plan on using. Make sure you have it saved and ready to go because you're going to be using it later this week. And then tomorrow you'll jump into your assignment that's all about learning about different illustrations and finding an illustrator or 3 that inspire you. So I'll see you then.